Basketball fans, what is up? And welcome to the All Basketball Podcast. It's just your host, Maurice Dixon, this time with the latest edition of Just My Thoughts. Yes, there hasn't been one of these installments in a while, but here's one on August 24th, right on the heels of this past Saturday, the men's Olympic team, basketball team winning the gold medal over France in stunning fashion. Steph Curry hit 8 threes in that game. Caught fire 4 down the stretch. Just a crazy performance. My best one before the one he hit over Batum and the other guy. I don't know if that was DeColo, but the one I liked the most was when he made that jab step against Gershon Yabusele and just sent him the other way and just was wide open to sink the three. That was the one I found to be most impressive. And the one over two guys was just stunning. But Steph, he was just on it. After in the previous game against Serbia, who Jokic played for, and one of the Bogdanovich's, USA had to come back in that semifinal game, and Curry caught fire that game. 36 that game, not mistaken. Hit mad threes, and it was just a put on quite display those last two games to help the 2024 team capture gold and continue to stay in front of the rest of the world, which is improving each and every day. Wembanyama had a good game. I mentioned Jokic, and they had to put together a stacked squad and still were tested to the end, especially against Serbia. Because the world is just caught up, and who knows how the 28 games will go. I don't expect Curry, who just won his first gold medal, LeBron, Durant, to be suiting up, but just because of age. But you never know, especially more so LeBron being maybe 44 about that time, 43. But who knows? Curry be close to 40, Durant will be close to 40. So it's like other guys going to have to step up and see if they can stay ahead of the world. Maybe the team will be more balanced as far as superstars and role players. So you won't have the Jason Tatum type thing going on where you can't seem to get minutes because LeBron and Durant are still playing very well. You had Booker, you had Curry, Derek White and Drew Holiday being better perimeter defenders, but to have Tatum sitting over there, him and Halliburton, definitely Tatum was kind of shocking. We'll see if he comes back. I think he should probably come back and for the next game, even though he's played in the Olympics even before this year. Somewhat go on a redemption tour, be the leader, star of the next crop of guys, whether that's Morant, Zion, Chet Holmgren, Anthony Edwards probably be back, Booker may be back, but just a few stars to name off the top of the head. But there were a couple of things that came out of this game. I guess the most kind of shocking one was that the comment Stephon Marbury made about LeBron, and obviously I know LeBron fans didn't like it. It seems to have stemmed from a shoe beef where LeBron kind of, who else knows what went on, but LeBron kind of discredited Stephon Starbury shoe brand back in the day when LeBron has always been signed with Nike. But And I only really saw like the last 2 minutes of the gold medal game. Just wasn't able to watch it for various reasons. Watched much of the Olympics, whether it was on weird channels or just it was ahead 6 hours, so it was on early in the day here, and just not being able to watch much of it. But LeBron got the MVP. Hitting numbers, scoring numbers, he balanced near triple-double type numbers. I think around the average of 14. And a good amount of rebounds. Definitely a good amount of assists because I think he played more of the point guard position, but he kind of was the most consistent up until that point. And Steph Curry just caught fire and pretty much kept him in the game against Serbia in the first half, then helped finish that game off. And then France, even though they were ahead, he kept France at bay with those 4 threes in the final, in that closing quarter. And so Marbury had some things to say about, and I'm going to read them, about James getting the MVP, which some felt like he should, and others felt like Steph should have got it, because at the most critical moments of the tournament, Steph showed up the biggest and had the biggest impact. So here's what Steph said. I get LeBron is the king to many, but let me say this. When you give him what he doesn't deserve, you basically say that because of what he's done, he should receive such a high honor on the biggest stage. No, he didn't earn it this time. And I gotta feel Marbury on it, but like I said, I didn't see it. Marbury is a credible NBA player. He's not a member of the media like myself and others who can sit on the sidelines and critique or praise. So for him to say based off what he saw that Steph deserved it more, and maybe he did, and there is definitely an argument there to say Steph definitely should have got in the biggest moments when they needed him. He shined, keep them ahead or help them come back or keep them in the game. And so obviously many people are attacking Marbury for how his career panned out, but it's really nothing to do with that. It's just the fact that he took a stance. He had a take, a strong one at that, and people don't like it. I know this is, then they just have to, it's just his opinion. It's like, this is my opinion. If I know many are fans of LeBron, and they like Steph mentioned in so many words, like to put him on high or bow to his throne. Everybody doesn't feel that way, and so and he has a point to back it up. But as we know, sometimes in sports, it's very narrative driven. Which that word comes with a negative connotation a lot of times, but sometimes the story is driven down a certain path or written in a certain way, favorably towards what you think or not so favorably towards what you think. And LeBron came out bearing the flag. Probably definitely be his last Olympics. So the good story would be for the LeBron at 39, helping the USA assembling this dream team or Avengers team type roster, and LeBron's playing some of the best basketball, and I mean getting high praise and getting more credit for than really what he should be. I mean, he's on a stacked team. He's playing with other NBA superstars, so it should be easy for most of the guys out there on the floor to get good looks, to look amazing. It's only a few games. He doesn't have to play defense like that, or can play better, because it's not like a taxing NBA season. So because we see during the season, when the Lakers play 82 games, LeBron's putting up similar numbers, but it's definitely clearly not the same impact because the Lakers ended up being a play-in team, or like this past season, the 7th seed. And when it came to the defending world champs at that time, they lost in 5 games. So, but Steph made some strong comments. Some people definitely don't like it. Some people agree with it. Some people say, hey, well, subjectively, maybe this storyline panned out. LeBron played well enough. I mean, had the numbers, which he usually often does. I mean, not really score a good amount of points, get rebounds, find other guys, or create easy baskets for other guys, and be able to build up those assists, and you have a field stat sheet, and you play the most consistent, and maybe it's going to go your way. So I'm not saying the story was already written, but it was that's how it ended up, and Marbury voiced his opinion, and it's his opinion. So you just gonna have to deal with what comes his way. And he has some other strong things where he said LeBron shouldn't even be mentioned in the same sense with Jordan. And in the same breath as MJ. Some people believe that there tends to be a thought idea that LeBron stuff is built up and inflated to an extent when you break it down, and the facts of breaking everything down. I mean, yeah, he went to the finals 8 straight times, but 3 and 5 during that run. 4 and 6 overall. A couple of championships that, Ray Allen made a big shot. Now LeBron came back in Game 7 against the Spurs, and he stepped up and made the shots. San Antonio forced him to take, and he made them. So I give him credit for that. Then you had the controversy in 2016 with, he definitely had something to do with Draymond Green getting suspended, and then when Bogut getting hurt, that kind of flipped that series from 3-1 to them coming back, being the first team to come back from the 3-1 hole. And so got a lot of rest, him and Anthony Davis, for that bubble championship. And people don't give him full credit for that. I'm not going to beat him up for that. And the one against the Thunder, they were a young team, but Miami won. They had redeemed themselves from the collapse they had the previous year against Dallas. So they came back and proved they were the better team without really any controversy. There was a foul that wasn't called against LeBron. It should have been called for Durant. Maybe the Thunder do go up 2-0 in that series, but they didn't. They didn't recover after that. So they were just clearly outmatched. Harden and Westbrook had terrible series, and so you can. But yeah, just stuff is inflated. You have Nick Wright coming up with crazy, just stuff you wouldn't believe to give LeBron so much credit. And you had Skip Bayless on the other side of the debate table, even though they weren't directly debating each other, but whoever they were debating and talking to at the time. But I'm not going to say that he shouldn't be mentioned in the same sense. Jordan, LeBron has accomplished a lot, but I do think there is more distance and between the two, even though I'm going to be biased because I grew up a Jordan fan and was amazed by him. I'm not really that amazed by LeBron. I respect what he's done for the game, and he's just not my guy. But when it comes to being put up against Jordan, it's just I believe it's a pretty wide margin, just because of Jordan going 6-0 in the finals, and there's so many accomplishments, overcoming stuff. I know he had the best team, one of the best defenses, and they both went about it different routes to win their championships. But I just respect Jordan's a little more, and I'm a little biased, so I can't really look at it objectively. If I was obviously a LeBron fan and looking at it totally objective, then I would obviously see things the other way. But I wouldn't go as far as say he shouldn't be mentioned. But I think he gets a little more credit sometimes than he should. And maybe Jordan gets more credit than he should. He didn't do it without Pippen. But it's just something to debate. Simple as that. So sticking to that game, so there's been a lot said about whether Curry came up clutch. And by the NBA definition, I don't know what FIFA rules are, international rules are, but the NBA definition, in a 5-point clutch is a 5-point game, shots made in a game that's at least 5, the separation is 5 points with 5 minutes left. So that's their definition. I'm not really big on it. I think it's a little too much time left to be considered clutch. And they said only one of those shots Curry made when the game was 3 points was technically a clutch shot. I listened to Rob Parker talk about it a lot on The Odd Couple, and when Curry made those shots, I just knew first chance Rob got, he was going to be coming back to talk about. He called them big shots, not clutch shots. Technically, one of them was a clutch shot. The other 3 weren't, because the margin was bigger than 5 points, larger than 5 points. So they technically can't be clutch. Now, I do think they were definitely big shots, amazing shots, impressive shots, however you want to put it. I'm not totally against what Rob Parker said, but I will say that I know Arenas, and he said Doug Gottlieb came back at him. Probably some other people, different people on social media. I would say they were big shots as well. I would just go with the definition, even though I think that the point difference is fine, but the time, 5 minutes, you see if you said a minute, maybe 2 minutes, but that's the NBA's definition. I don't know where they got it from, how they came up with it. It's obviously subjective as well. It's not written in a book, biblically sent from God. It's what man came up with, so it's still some subjectivity to it. And so he made one shot, and Rob Parker's whole thing is Steph Curry is the fact that he just brings it up. And it's factual, whether you like it or not. In playoff games, with less than 50 seconds or less, Steph Curry is 0-14 on shots to take the lead. So he's hasn't proved clutch in that time margin. Now, if you go by the NBA definition of 5 minutes, yes, he is clutch. He's hit clutch shots, had clutch moments, however you want to look at it. So it's I guess I just look at it as I wouldn't. I think it's good for debate. I could take either side. I would say, but since I want to shrink the window some, I would say it's crazy that he's the greatest shooter we've ever seen, but he doesn't have any clutch shots, in my opinion, or Rob Parker's or other people's opinion, because when the pressure's really on, he hasn't made a shot in the playoffs. Done in the regular season, but this is an official ESPN stat. I mean, well researched. So, and that's what statisticians do. They don't. It's not personal. These are the numbers. This is the situation. They make shot. And so, I would put it like this. If I just sum it up as there's degrees and levels of what clutch is, because like Rob Parker was saying, he believes clutch is you're down a point, 2, 3 points, and you make a shot to tie the game with no time left or minimal time left. Now, yes, I can agree with that's the ultimate degree of clutch. Now, if the score is tied, you take a shot, you don't make it. You take a shot, you make it, and you win. That's a lower level of clutch, because if you miss, you still have overtime, another chance. So I'm just looking at clutches, degrees of clutch. I mean, some examples: Reggie Miller in 1995, 8.9 seconds left. The Knicks were trailing. The Pacers were trailing the Knicks. It just went insane. 1995, game 1, 8 points in 9 seconds. Definitely those 2 threes he hit off the steal. He drained one, then he stole the inbound pass and made one. Stark went to the other end, missed both free throws. Miller came back and hit both free throws to win the game, 107-105. Ray Allen, game 6. Miami down 2 from the corner. Bosh gets the rebound. Drills it from the corner. He missed, it's over. Should have been over, but Ginobili and Kawhi Leonard couldn't make free throws, split their free throws. So, sends the game to overtime. No tomorrow, because they're down 3-2 in the series. So, highest degree of clutch. Jordan, like the picture behind me. I mean, in Utah, he misses. They have another game to spare, but Pippen's back is hurt. Certain situations come in to where still probably, if not the highest degree of clutch, very close to it. So you have shots like that. The shot Reggie Miller made against Chicago when he did push Jordan off, it was the 98 playoffs. Drilled that shot with just a second, however much time was left, because Jordan had to pump fake to try to get that shot off in like less than a second. Clutch, highest degree. I mean, you had to hit it to get the lead, because Pippen had just missed a couple of free throws. So as far as clutch, I just look at it as it's degrees, and some are big shots. I would take down that time. I think that's a little but that's the NBA's definition. But if you're asking Maurice, I need less time, and you need to hit the shot when you need it the most. And unfortunately, Curry is proven to be clutch, but not to the degree of under 50 seconds left with a chance to put his team ahead. He hasn't. He hit that one against Phoenix in the regular season last year. That was crazy shot. I think the game was tied. He slipped Bradley Beal, made that shot, whatever the score was, but not a playoff game, but definitely a clutch shot. But it's just surprising to know that the way this guy shoots the ball and how hot he's been able to get from deep. Hitting that crazy shot back in 2016 against OKC in the regular season from just inside half court. But in the playoffs, he can't give you one like Jordan, like Kobe, Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, LeBron, Kyrie Irving in 2016. He just doesn't have one, and maybe he just won't have one like that. But he is a clutch player, but not to the highest level. And the last thing I want to get to before I get out of here, dealing with Team USA. So not too long ago, you had Draymond Green. I know Paul Pierce kind of second this too, but Draymond Green just nonchalant. Draymond Green is, man, he's the most arrogant role player of all time. I know there have been other guys. I can't probably list them all. Maybe you can say Dennis Rodman was the same way, the way he made some statements. I know guys made statements back in the day, whatever current era was before their era, they would say, we give them the business, we whip them. So Draymond, they're talking about the topic of the 2024 team against the 92 Dream Team came up, and Draymond just says they'll win 5 out of 7. He'll take it every day of the week. I mean, it's just like this guy. And here's what he said. Quite frankly, I'm taking the 2024 team 7 days a week. I think the 2024 team beats the Dream Team 5 out of 7 games. Got to give the Dream Team some respect. They got GOATs. We get it. They got Hall of Famers. We get it. Okay. I just think the versatility on that team, the star power, the scoring, I don't think the Dream Team can do anything with that. Dream continued. Now if the Dream Team has Shaquille O'Neal on it and not Christian Laettner, maybe a different story. And that's why I don't think the Dream Team would even come close. I wouldn't say come close. A 10-point loss, double digits by 2024, Team USA, you can book it. Okay, so this guy, man, I mean, I know he has NBA credibility and all that. I know he's won 4 championships. Maybe giving him a little too much credit because he is able to find Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, do all the ball movement of their offense. But when he's just been out there with Curry or nobody else, he gets ejected or he's putting up triple singles, as Barkley so amusingly coined. But I mean, I'm not saying the 2024 team wouldn't win, but 5 out of 7. And let's just break down some of this from the 92 team. Oh yeah, we got Jordan, how great he is. And all right, yeah, Larry Bird didn't play after that. Magic Johnson had the virus, so he really couldn't play, but he wasn't that old. Barkley was in his prime. David Robinson, Ewing, Karl Malone, Stockton, Pippen. Mullen was a good shooter. Okay, yeah, Laettner didn't play, but we only got 5 on the court, so at one time. So, okay, so you got Bam Adebayo, Embiid, Anthony Davis. Okay, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Barkley, and Malone. They're attacking the paint. I mean, yeah, Bam's a good player, but he's not on these guys' level. Maybe he'll get there. AD got to respect his defense. He'll definitely be someone to make it tough, definitely. MB maybe too, but he's proven that being foul trouble all the time against the teams they just face. So, and you're talking about very reliable post-up players. Definitely Ewing, Barkley, Robinson, and Malone. So definitely the Dream Team is going to have an advantage on the block against those guys. Okay, now when it comes to the perimeter, okay, you got Curry, you got Booker, you got Durant. I guess LeBron can be more in the mid-range. I mean, Pippen playing all-time defense, so I'm putting him, hopefully, I think he can make it as tough as possible on Durant, hoping to contain him. You're not stopping these guys. Jordan's playing good defense. Maybe put him to make things tough for Booker or Ant-Man. I mean, we're not really worried about Drew Holiday like that. Maybe he guards LeBron some, Curry some, depending on how they play. And then people, I mean, some stuff I read as far as we'll see if Tatum is used more. He wasn't used much this time, so Kawhi had to leave due to injury. So two guys out right there, making this thing a little tougher. Now, as far as people want to point to the shooting, they're just thinking about the present day and not back when the Dream Team was, guys were in their prime, when it was their day, when it was obviously an inside-out game. And yeah, the competition back then wasn't internationally what it is now. So yeah, they rolled the teams, but three-point shooting, I mean, a closer line. Stockton shot 38% for his career. These guys just didn't take many threes. Mullen 38% as well, and Larry Bird that same percentage as well. And then his final year, even though Bird didn't play in the games after that, his final year, he shot 40% from the field. So if you got Jordan, Magic, Pippen, Stockton creating for each other, creating to get, if you got Stockton and Magic creating to get, and Jordan creating to get Bird, Mullen shots, or Stockton get him shots himself. Stockton playing pretty good physical defense on Curry, depending on how they let him play. I mean, this thing isn't going to be a 5 out of 7. Then they still got to deal with Michael Jordan. I mean, okay, so you say Derek White, Drew Holiday, your best defenders in the mid post. Then just imagine these guys. I mean, Barkley's able to shoot out in the mid range. Jordan, Drexler, and obviously the guys I mentioned: Mullen, Stockton, Pippen, Malone, Bird. I mean, it's not going to be a cakewalk. I don't know who will win. Only God knows. He would have to set that up. I mean, if you put it on and the only way we'll be able to see it now, honestly, if you put it in a digital format on a video game, NBA 2K, and just had it simulate based off ratings, but that still wouldn't get us really any closer because it's a video game, so we can't really see this happen. I know it's a hypothetical thing. It's a great thing for debate, but Draymond, just to push it off like these guys wouldn't, I mean, make this tough just because the current Team USA has, they have Curry, deadly from three, Durant, Booker. Pretty much most of the guys can hit some, but some of that stuff's going to be shut off. And with these guys working in the mid-range and most likely pounding you on the inside and able to get to the cup with the penetration of Jordan, Pippen, just Magic creating this, it's not going to be a cakewalk. I don't know who would win. Obviously, from a bias standpoint of me seeing that Dream Team, knowing how most of those players, seeing how most of those players operated at that time, most would expect me to say, okay, the dream team. And most would expect people who are more enamored or this era of basketball is all they know, they would go with the current team. I just think it will make for a great matchup, but not just a route. And then you had Pierce saying Larry Bird can play no more. He was done. Magic was done. So who is their best player? The team this year would dominate that team. Who's going to guard LeBron? Style of play would have been too much for this dream team. They couldn't shoot the three. And who they have down low? They had Dave Robinson, Ewing, and Charles Barkley, and we could counter that with Embiid, Anthony Davis, and Bam. Who's going to guard Steph? John Stockton? Yes, Pierce. I mean, it's going to be a collective effort. I mean, it may be certain instances where Jordan's on him at the end of the game, or Pippen. We're not talking about LeBron at his peak, so I mean, Magic maybe can counter that. But I mean, Pippen and Jordan out there on Durant, Curry, it can make things tough. And on the other end, Durant's going to make things tough. Curry with the movement, depending on if they play the right way, and even some on the inside. Maybe if Embiid chooses to go down low, that would be a big help to the 2024 team. But if he's bailing out Ewing, David Robinson with jump shots, I mean, they're not going to let him rest on the other end. That ball is coming inside, and guys are going to be coming down there attacking, trying either getting him in foul trouble, dunking over him. Maybe he blocks some, but it'll be quite a matchup to see. But I mean, just the disrespect and dismissal. The most arrogant role player of all time. Just the things come out of his mouth sometimes, and the way he's been acting lately, it just makes me shake my head. But he's entitled to his opinion. Him and Paul Pierce. I'm sure whoever there have been, I'm not the only one speaking out against it. Or I know Chris Broussard broke it down, and he mentioned some of the same things I mentioned as far as how the game would be played, and definitely that shorter three-point line. I mean, pretty much a mid-range shot. Jordan, Drexler, Stockton, Mullen, Bird knocking those down. Barkley, Malone. So will be interesting to see, but like I said, we'll never see it. But just had to speak out against that, man. It's just tripped out. It's what people say sometimes, and definitely this guy Draymond. But that's my time, folks. Glad to be back before y'all with this latest episode of Just My Thoughts. And like always, thanks for watching this episode of the All Basketball Podcast. Please subscribe on Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts if you haven't already. Until next time, peace and be blessed in Jesus' name.